Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video in the beginner series. So last video we went over helmets, which means this video I'm going to go over armor. So armor is your excuse me, second most piece of important gear. And level 1 armor, like wearing no armor and wearing level 1 armor, there's not much difference. The only reason you would want to wear level 1 armor is just for like to have a couple of mods on you because it's cheap. So like if you just wanted anti-rad, you'd be like, well, it's only 1,000, I'll throw level 1 armor on, that way I just have anti-rad. You're not really using it for the armor, you're using it for anti-rad. And level 2, same with level 2. Level 2 doesn't provide much armor either. But you could put like damage conversion on this. There doesn't seem to be any available for level 1, but level 2, like if you just wanted a damage conversion so that you couldn't get tapped by a one-tap pole or something like that, which we'll get into some of that a little bit later, but you could do that. I'll constantly run level 2. Some of my favorite is just damage conversion anti-rad, and they're relatively cheap. You can survive a sniper shot, and people can't detect you with EM heat, and you're immune to fire grenades and warhead on magazines. Warhead burns you when you get shot. So that's a pretty good combo. It doesn't provide you much armor, unfortunately, but if you combination it with just like an amplifier integrated helmet, you know, it's pretty awesome for a basic kit. And we'll get into budget kits in another video, but right now I'm just explaining to you like the different tiers of armor. Level 3 armor, you're actually going to get a little bit of protection from probably green ammo, green and gray ammo, which is level 0 and level, is it level 1? I don't know if there is a 0. It might be level 1, level 2, tier 1, tier 2. I think blue is tier 3, and tier 3 is still going to mess you up pretty good, but I think you'll take one extra hit from it, which could save your life. And if you have damage conversion on here, it could be 3. So damage conversion also works against normal, like non-sniper fire as well, but with an automatic weapon, that extra round hits you pretty quick, so it doesn't do a lot against automatics. It's better for single shot weapons like snipers, shotguns. It will save your life against a shotgun. It has saved mine many a times. Yield damage conversion stat. So aside from that, other stats you're looking for on armor, well, let me just finish. Tier 4 armor, this is the basics. This is what everybody runs. If you buy just base tier 4 armor, you do get good protection, but you're not going to get any mods, not for cheap anyway. You start putting mods on tier 4 and it's going to cost you. Like one mod, 15k, and it depends on the mod. Heavy armor, 28k. So, but I mean, 95% damage reduction, that's better than a T5, but you're going to pay 8k more than a T5, and it reduces your speed. But that extra 5%, it does make a difference. Like, I've noticed the difference between 90 and 95% damage reduction. It does seem to help. But you do suffer that 8% movement speed reduction, which you could counter it with like light backpack and maybe some fast boots. But you will be a little bit slower, but you will be tankier as well. I generally play more slow than fast anyway. Slow is going to get you to live more, at least in solos. In trios, in team games, like unless you're both playing stealthy, speed is really where it's at. It's going to be speed and tactics. It's going to win you the day. In solos, it's stealth and tactics, mostly. You can try speed and tactics, but some camper will probably get you, like 8 times out of 10. And then T5, like, T5 is just all around good. And, you know, for the price, a lot of people will just run this. A lot of top tier players, they'll just run M4 T5. Call it good. But they'll be easily radared. You could still be tapped. You can be one tapped in T5. Since, you know, if you put a mod on T5, it becomes significantly more expensive. Just damage conversion, you're looking at 50k. And if you want my favorite, which is damage conversion anti-rad, they're 200k. Oof. That's big money. Just in your armor too. Like by the time you fully kit out, throw a weapon on, you're $1 million kit. Or at least $500,000 kit. Probably. That's a lot. So that's the general armor layout for like standard armor and their uses. Most people are going to run T2, T3. People, and then you'll see commonly a little bit more rare T4. And then you'll see big chads in T5. And these people will mess you up because they're usually using M4s with blue or better ammo. So just be aware. In straight up firefights, the person with the better armor and better ammo generally win. But if you're good and you play stealthy, you can get the drop on people in better armor that have better weapons and you can win. So, but if you don't want to go into straight up firefight, like if I'm T2 with like an AK and I'm using, even if I'm using blue ammo in the AK, I don't want to just have a straight up head on head firefight with some dude in T5 with an M4, because he's going to shred me a lot faster than I'm going to shred him because he's wearing better armor. So like 9 times out of 10 he's going to win that fight. But if you get the drop on him, you can increase those odds for yourself. Or use grenades. There's a bunch of other tactics you can use to defeat somebody in higher level armor. But you don't want to try to have a face-to-face gunfight with them without having some sort of advantage. Either have weakened them with a grenade first, or get the drop on them. Something like that. But that's the basics of armor in this game. And then mods. Mod-wise, some people would use first aid. First aid is a good mod if you're planning on doing sniping and you think that you might get downed while sniping. So unlike damage conversion, it's not going to save you from being knocked down. So basically what this does is it allows you to self-revive, and you can do it in solo or in trios. And it's not awesome in close range. Like, in close range, you're better off with damage conversion, because this is going to absorb a round, and then you're going to die. The only thing first aid's going to do for you in close range is they're going to have to shoot you a little bit more to kill you. But you're not going to be able to pick yourself up fast enough before they murk you. Although, I'm not sure, but I have seen somebody, and I think if you use auto sorting on your backpack, you may be able to pick yourself up faster because of this. I don't know. It felt like I watched some dude who had, I've never tried it, but some dude who had first aid, if you have auto sorting on your backpack, I think you may be able to pick yourself up faster. That might be a thing. I would have to test it. But first aid is a good mod. A lot of people run first aid. I would say, if nothing else, limb armor is good because it gives you significant damage reduction to your limbs. And a lot of people use limb damage on their scopes. So this, at the very least, would equal out the damage that you're taking, and you wouldn't be taking increased damage. But if they're not using extra limb damage, your limbs will actually have a significant amount of damage reduction. A 25% damage reduction is nothing to shake a stick at. Limb is really nice. Like if you're going to go like limb anti-rad, it's a good combo. Or limb damage conversion, that's not bad. Integrated armor is a rare mod on armor. It doesn't really, it allows you to transfer to your helmet, but you'll be unlucky. You won't be able to find these. These are super rare, and they cost a lot of money now. And even if you did find one, you probably wouldn't want to like use it. Not arena. So, but the only mods that are really worth a dang on armor, at least if you're going cheap armor, like T1, T2, T3, T4, you're looking at heavy, limb, anti-rad, damage conversion, torso, frontal, and rare. These are your most common, like, good ones. So, like, frontal, this is the weakest of these three mods of rare torso, because frontal reduces damage, but only to your front. Rare is a step up from that. What rare does is it does the same amount of damage reduction, but like you can get shot from more than just in your front, and it increases your durability, but to repair your armor it costs double. So you lose out on repairing your armor a little bit, but you get a lot more durability and you get damage reduction from all sides instead of just from your front. And then torso is stronger than that. You don't get the durability, but it does increase the damage resistance by more, and it's from all around. The only other mod that's maybe worth something is armor reinforcement, and that gives you an increased damage reduction and a little bit of extra durability. So like, this is a pretty decent armor, I suppose. Maybe not for that price, but you get frontal, anti-rad, and armor reinforced. That's pretty sweet. It's not bad. If this was like rare metal, that would be decent, I would say, because you get that 82%. That's almost a T5, but with also anti-rad and a little extra durability. Although I think the durability on a T5, yeah, it's still higher. Even if you have that armor reinforcement, it's not quite T5. So for that price, I think I would probably just rock T5. You could do, heck, you could probably do heavy T5 for cheaper than that. Yeah, heavy T5, 110% damage reduction. That's a tough armor right there, but you will be slower. Other than that, like some of these other ones, like blast-proof layer, cheap material, deflection, almost nobody uses these. Blast-proof is the only other one that I could see that could be halfway decent, because it helps you absorb damage from grenades, and grenades are a big part of the game. But most people don't run it. Not opposed to like some of these other mods. Some of these other mods are just better to have all around in general. Tough material gives you increased durability, but you know, do you want it over anti-rad limb and torso? Probably not. But if you had it, like if you had a tough material anti-rad, I mean, I would run it, you know, if I had it. And I don't know. I would most likely sell it though and use the money to buy like anti-rad limb. Because what generally happens is whenever you do kill somebody, they're going to have armor. Both your armors are going to be a little messed up. But yours will usually be insured, so what you'll probably do is ditch your gear so that it comes back in insurance and you'll put their gear on. That way if you die for the rest of the match, you're only going to lose their kit, and your kit will come back to you. So, and you can carry more loot that way. So if you kill other players, you can carry all their kit as well. Whereas if you keep your kit on and carry their kit around with you, you're not going to have room to carry too much more stuff. So that's a tactic in this game, is always insure your gear, because even if you're like, well, they'll probably steal it from me, well, you could always, if you kill somebody else, you could always ditch your gear to have it come back to you and wear their gear, which is a good strategy. A lot of people use that. But that's pretty much the overview for armor in this game, and a lot of its uses and some of the tips and tricks that people use with it. That'll be it for this video in the beginner series. In the next beginner series video, we will be going over backpacks. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Later.